Hey guys, this is Tim Tilley, Invisible Pain. What we're going to be talking about for the next few minutes is Riley Gaines, the NCAA swimmer that was attacked yesterday by the LG whatever mafia, LGTQ, whatever the hell they call themselves. She was attacked by people that's dressed up, men dressed up like women, women dressed up like men, coming sitting there that's saying that this guy, I'm not even gonna say his name. I'm not gonna give him a plug. This guy that is dressed up that thinks he is a woman that gets to swim and win national tournaments, swimming against other women when he can't win against swimming against his own gender. And then tonight, as I was watching Fox News, they was talking about that our vice president had rushed to Tennessee to show her support. Let me tell you something about our vice president. The only thing that she's doing right now is she's dividing this country more and more. And let me tell you why she's there. The only reason she's just like Al Sharpton and the rest of them guys. Reverend Jesse Jackson, all of them, whatever, he's a reverend, that's what he calls himself, but when I read up it says he didn't even finish his seminary school, so I don't know what that means. But what I am going to say is she's just exactly like them. When something happens, and you got this that's going on, and this is terrible that these people that had stood up and tried to take over while they was having a committee meeting, and they showed out. And well, then yesterday they got voted out. And if they was going to protest, they should have went outside or on the streets or whatever they was going to do. There's nothing wrong with a protest. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a protest, but the way that they done it, and the way that they caused disorder from what they were trying to do, and they're supposed to be representing the people of that state. Well, there's ways that you represent people, and you do it with class, not with bullying, not with a bullhorn. But when they did, they should have known what kind of consequences was coming their way. Well, apparently they got showed. Well, and then today you had our vice president that jumped on. I mean, she wouldn't go to the borders when all the drugs and the children was getting molested and kidnapped, raped, killed, people dying in back of trucks from trying to come over here illegally. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming across the border every day. She didn't want no part of that. But now that you see two black men that has been kicked off of this committee, she wants to come to arms. She's just like, absolutely, she's trying to make something worse than it actually is, and she gets on in front of all these cameras, and she wants to speak all this filth and all this mess. It's hatred. It's pure hatred. You have a vice president that is as racist as she talks about racism. She needs to look in the mirror, because this woman's as racist as anybody has ever been in that White House. All they can spew is the hatred for Donald Trump. She needs to look at herself. She's in the same boat as the rest of them guys that come running when something happens, hoping and praying that something happens so they can go get their plug on TV. And like the rest of them guys, when they gonna get their $25,000 to $50,000 to $100,000, whatever their fees may be, to come when something tragic happens. And when the last time there was a court case, I think it was Reverend Jesse Jackson that actually sat in the courtroom beside the people, the young man, the family that they had a death in their family. And the only thing he was doing, he didn't care about what was going on there. He absolutely didn't care what was going on. He might perceive that he's going on. The only thing he's making sure, I guarantee you, 2 or 3 days after it happened, he was depositing a check for somebody had to pay him $50,000 to be there. If we don't wake up and see what they're doing in this country. And you look at our vice president. I'm gonna tell you, she is a hypocrite. If there's ever been a hypocrite, when she was in California, she was jailing over 1,500 people that was convicted for cannabis, marijuana charges. And then she was also supporting the three-strike rules. Well, you look at California when it comes to black and white, and you look at in the prison sentences, in the jails out there, look who was serving the biggest terms. Look who was more in the percentage out there between black and whites, and see who was jailed. It was black people. So is she going to flip her boat right now just because she's in a White House and acts like nobody remembers that stuff, just so she can jump on another bandwagon? It's all political. And let me tell you why she does this, because she don't want to lose her job that she has right now, because it pays her. It pays her millions and millions of dollars to ride on everybody else's coattails and ride on their back. Name one thing that this woman has done as vice president. Name one thing. She was supposed to be in the border czar. If you vote on her when the election comes, on from that one issue as being our border czar, to make sure that there's no terrorists, there's no drugs, there's no children's not being made to work as sex slaves, people's not having to come over here and pay the cartel hundreds of thousands of dollars to get here. And now the cartels are having to wear armbands that determines how much money that they owe the cartels for coming over here. And she's wanting to say that, the border's closed, but everybody that's working the border says something different. Unless you're watching NBC or CBS or some of them other left-wing TV shows, all they want to say, these commentators, they're not even news anchors anymore. They don't even speak truth. They speak what they believe. If it's false or not, that's all they speak is what they believe. And she keeps doing this and saying, standing up, and she has her little 2 or 3 minute plug speech that she can throw up and energize all these people, these men that's wearing dresses and makeup and got their little kids out there with their rainbow hats on, and saying, we got to come to arms and just talk down on the Republican Party that we are so racist and we are so wrong. She needs to read her history and see where the racism started at. It's starting and it's ending in the same place, on the Democratic Party's head. They the ones that had all this stuff going. If everybody remembers, the Republicans is what stopped this. The Republicans is what changed. It got people, the slaves. It changed all the laws when it comes to slavery. And now we want to allow her to get on TV and spew all these hate and lies and all this mess and get people up in arms, and not even caring that what she's doing may get someone killed. And then by next week, you're going to have Al Sharpton and the rest of them coming up there, but they're not going to get on that plane. They're not going to get on that bus till somebody says, well, don't worry, we've already got your contract signed. You're going to get your $50,000 for showing up. They're going to come out there and they're going to wipe their tears with their little handkerchiefs, and they're going to say that they walked across that bridge and they done everything that they could. And at the end of the day, when they go home and sit down in their multi-million-dollar mansions and driving in their limos and flying around in their airplanes, they don't give a damn about the people of this country, because if they did, they would stop this shit. Because if they don't, we've got countries that's absolutely looking at us right now, and we are absolutely a joke. We have no stable leader. That sumbitch can't even tie his own damn shoes. He can't even walk around the White House without having 14 people trying to get him to the place he's going to go. And then you're going to have her that Kamala Harris absolutely has done nothing. Everybody, it was all over the TV till she got this appearance thing where she was trying to change her appearance, because everybody that worked for her hated her. It's because she is a damn hypocrite. Everything that she tells you on TV, and she smiles, and that bullshit giggling laugh that she does. Everybody says, well, I don't understand why she giggles and she laughs in between these very serious questions. It's because she don't know how to answer it. And she's going to answer it as if everything was fun and games, that nothing is hard for her. And when it comes down to it, if she was the president of this United States, we would have already been broken. We're almost there anyway from the sumbitch that's in there right now. And everybody, all they want to do is talk about how bad Trump. You need to back up and look when he was president. Everybody was doing well. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it wasn't Joe Biden, excuse me, Kamala Harris said, yeah, everybody's got more money in their pocket. Everybody's able to go on vacations. Since we're after the pandemic, everybody's doing so much better. Well, let me put it down here for you. The only damn ones that you helped through COVID was the damn multimillionaire businesses that absolutely had to have all that money to fund 2 or 3 or 1,000 employees. The people that was actually getting the shit done in this country, the small businesses, you didn't help them. And if you say you did, you're a damn lie, because I sent out several emails. I've sent them to the White House. I've sent them to leaders in my caucus. I've sent them in the Democratic caucus. I've sent them everywhere trying to get one damn person. I'm talking about Republican and Democrat to give us an option on what we could do to keep our businesses open, because we had to shut down. And did anybody help? The only damn thing that you done for me and I have a huge family. Me and my wife has 7 children, about 10 grandchildren, and everybody depends on my home. Everybody depends on me and my wife. And as they should. We're mom and daddy. And when the pandemic hit, and when all this shit was wanting to go down, when the new president took office, well, he's your president, he's not mine. I shut 2 businesses down. Not 1, but 2. And all you want to talk about is what great things they're going to do. And the very next damn thing they done when they shut our business down, they started attacking our gas. They've attacked every damn thing that makes it easy for the Americans to do and makes us suffer. We actually have to include gas now as a monthly bill. And some people is having to include gas or eat. And you calling that right. You calling that we're on the, and then when this report come out today talking about our economy, and you're talking about that Biden said, oh, this is good news. This is a great economy. When are you people going to wake up and make him answer for the hell that he's doing in this country right now? All this shit that is going on in this country, it ain't Donald Trump's fault. It ain't Donald Trump's son's fault. It ain't his wife. It ain't Barron's fault. It ain't none of them's fault. The only damn ones that need to grab them a big handful load of this shit is the Democratic Party, because all they're doing is pushing shit. They have to get different wheelbarrows to load it up every day of the lies. They have lied since day one. They have been lying since day one that Donald Trump took office. And then you've got these fools on The View that want to speak all this trash and destroy this country and come against, trying to shame everybody just because we're white or they're black. I've raised black children, so I have a right to speak on black and white. Don't look at me and tell me because my damn skin color is white that I'm a racist when the money that's been off of the money that I've paid to raise somebody else's children, that I didn't ask for a thank you. I done it because I loved them. And then you want to go around and you want to treat people like me like we owe somebody something. The only people that I owe anything to is my family. And until people can in this country can start standing, I'm talking about Christian people too. Christian people need to stand up and quit being so damn passive. That's the reason we've lost our place. On Sundays, you couldn't get up and go. You couldn't get up and go buy alcohol before 1 o'clock. A store couldn't open up before 1 o'clock. But now, we shouldn't do that no more. Let's push all this mess out of school. Let's push God out of school. Let's do everything. And then what have you got since you've done it all? Everybody wants to talk about a gun. There's guns everywhere. The guns ain't flying through the air pulling the triggers. It's the damn fools that you're inciting when you get on TV and you say the shit that you do. Why don't you be honest with the people and tell about that transgender woman that walked in that school and shot all them youngins, and 3 youngins and 3 adults? Why don't you tell about that and tell them what side of the aisle she was based off of? Because if she was a damn Republican, you would have had it on every newspaper, every TV show across this country, and trying to blame that shit on Donald Trump too, and you won't speak of it because you know it's out of your own bowl. So we as people is actually got to start standing up and doing something, because in 5 or 6 years of this shit right here, I don't know that we can rebound from where we're at right now. There's so much hatred going on. And I'm speaking to the not just the white people and the black people. I'm speaking to you all as people. If you don't start getting a love for one another and quit questioning each other over every little thing, we're losing the battle. We're absolutely not. I ain't talking about Republican and Democrat. I can give a shit and care less about that. But we're losing the battle of humanity. And once you cross that threshold, there ain't no coming back. Once the damn bullets start flying from the so-called left and the so-called right, and you have your own civil war in the United States, and sometimes that makes me think that's what you want, so you can push another agenda. And the reason they want to take your guns, if they got your guns, they can control you in anything that they want to do. And I promise you, you may get them people in California to give up their damn little 22s or whatever kind of guns they got, but you won't do that shit in the South. I promise you that. You may have a lawmaker that may come in and pass a damn law, but you will not ever take people's guns in the South. You want hell raised? Then that's the stump that you need to try to dig up. Because I promise you it won't never happen. And what needs to happen is everybody needs to stand behind. And I'm saying if Donald Trump is going to be who we want supposed to be behind in our next election, then you stand behind him. Whoever our Republican Party leader is supposed to be, we got to get behind him. Quit talking all this backbiting shit that's going around the Republican Party. All these ass wipes that's in there. All these guys that ain't got their too chicken shit to speak out right and say what's going on. Until you can stand up and actually say, yes, I support Donald Trump, then they're going to keep on and on and on, and they're going to make it worse and worse and worse. Every time you walk out and somebody says, well, if they want to question it, you damn right. We are Trump. Thank you, guys. Tim Tilley, Invisible Pain. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you think.